In this video, I want to take a look at a very useful set of tags called conditional tags. We're going to be able to do things like create a separate menu for different on our website. That's what we'll look at. But let's take a quick look at conditional tags themselves. They basically say, if a condition is met, return true. If it's not met, return false. Is the current page the home page? Well, we'll set up a further conditional here to say, if it's true that it's the home page, then print welcome home. And if it's not, then don't do anything at all. You can see this is a very, very powerful tool in your arsenal of creating template files. Let's look at some other conditionals here. Is this the front page? And I'll take a look at the difference between front page and home page in a moment. Is this an archive page? Very, very useful for saying, am I on a certain type of page? And notice there are many types of category archives, tag archives, author archives. For example, back here, if we go to the author archives, I could specify if I'm on an archive page like this, then do certain things to my style, to whatever I'm doing. Now, some conditionals will take parameters. These particular ones don't take parameters. It's just simply, is this the front page or is this an archive? But you can set parameters for certain kinds of conditional tags. For example, is single. Rather than just saying, is this a single post, we're going to say, is this the single post 23? Or is this the page called About Us that has the title About Us? We can also set up an array of parameters here. So for instance, is this in category 45, or is this in the category called SEO, or is this in the category with the slug web design? We're mixing several different kinds of parameters here, aren't we? That's all possible to do when you have a conditional that takes parameters. Let's take a look at conditionals in action. This is the loop from the 2010 theme, the default theme, and here's a good conditional. If this is an archive, remember, category, author, tags, doesn't matter. Or if this is a search, then just show the excerpt for a particular post. Or else, if it isn't meeting those conditions, then do this, show the content. And we saw that on our website. We saw in the author archives, there it is, it's showing the excerpts only and not the full content. So that's one way to use a conditional. By the way, I just wanted to mention a couple of things here. The difference between these two conditionals, is home and is front page, it can get a bit confusing. Is home refers to the posts page. Now by default, the posts page, the one that lists your most recent posts, it is the home page by default in WordPress. But you can change, as we know, we can change that home page. And if you change it, then you would want to use is front page. And I actually prefer using is front page all the time anyway, because it will refer to whatever is the front page, whether it's the posts, whether it's a static page, it doesn't matter. So is front page is probably the better one to use. And use is home is almost like, is this your blog? Is this where your posts are? There's another one to be aware of, and that is category. These two are very close. Is category versus in category. You want to use is category when you're testing for, is this a category page? Is this a page of category archives? Whatever it might be. In category is when you're on a particular post and you say, is this post in category 45, or is this post in the category for books? If it is, then do something. So this is very, very different, in category versus is category. Both very powerful conditional tags, of course. Now, let's go back here, and we want to create that different menu that we talked about. So when I'm in a certain section of the website, I want one menu to show. When I'm in a different section, I want a different menu to show. So what I've done here is I've created a conditional in the header.php file for the 2010 theme. So what I'm saying here is, if this page has a page template called pagemysection.php, notice we're using the actual file name here, which is fairly unusual in a conditional tag. If it's using that template, then show this menu. If it's not, then show this other menu. Very, very simple to do. And we just put this in the header.php. Notice we're outside of the loop. Most conditionals don't need to be inside the loop to be used. They're simply using information about the current query for that particular page. So you can access them from anywhere. Very, very useful to have conditionals and set up all kinds of different ways of doing things within a template file. You can get quite powerful with them.